In the scriptures that the Bible calls perfect peace. Perhaps we could kind of parallel that to Jesus sleeping in a boat, or unity in the midst of chaos, resting and not striving, trust and not fear. And so I thought I would go on and find some memes that could possibly express kingdom theology around peace. So I prayed and I fasted and I searched online and I found a few that I felt like, they went ahead and got ahead of me. All right. I found some memes that I felt like kind of aligned themselves with the scriptures, and I wanted to share them with you today. So here's the first one. We'll call this inner peace. Come on, inner peace I don't have all day. The second one I'll call peanuts peace. Now I'm going to read this for you. It says, this is Lucy, of course. She says, I hate everything. I hate the whole world. So Charlie says, I thought you had inner peace. I do, but I still have outer obnoxiousness. How many of y'all have some outer obnoxiousness going on? Right? Any of y'all go to work? Any of y'all ever been to Walmart? We've got some outer obnoxiousness going on. Now, the next one, I'm going to call this one name it, claim it peace. I can has inner peace. The next one I love, it's hippie peace. I wish I had hair like that. Any of y'all? Someone's claiming it back there. Last one is peace out pandemic. See ya. Come on, everybody say peace out. Let's get beyond this thing. So the question is, which peace do you relate to? Go ahead and look at your neighbor and tell them which peace you are. Who's the hippie peace? All right, we got some hippie peace. Who's the name it, claim it peace? Who's the peanuts peace? Let me remind you that you can go to iconchurchapp.com if you haven't already got our church app, and you will have the message notes there available for you. We have been talking about seeking first the kingdom and His righteousness, and we understand that this search, this pursuit, is paralleled to a search for treasure. That what God has in store for you is a future and a hope, and it's worth you giving up everything else for. It's valuable more than anything that you could hold in your hands or anything that you could earn with your skill. It is worth everything for you to give everything to be able to get the kingdom in your life. The last few weeks we've been talking about the treasure of peace. Last week I finished with what God wants for His people in the sense of how He wants you to live. And that's found in Isaiah chapter 32, verse 18. Isaiah chapter 32, verse 18 says, my people will abide in a peaceful habitation, in secure dwellings and in quiet resting places. Can you just imagine with me right now what that would look like if that was what you returned home to? Or perhaps whenever you went into your job, it was a quiet resting place. A secure dwelling where you did not have fear. This is truly the desire for God's plan, God's will for you and I as His children. Even in the midst of what we live in on the earth, God placed you and I here to reorder the earth according to the rules of heaven. Now, Isaiah chapter 26, verse 3 tells us how to get that peace. In verse 3, it says, you keep him in perfect, somebody say perfect. You keep him in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. So today I want you to understand with me as we finish this concept of peace that there is a place even here on the earth, even in your life, no matter what you're going through, that you can dwell in a place of perfect peace. But there is a key that you have to work in your life in order for that perfect peace to be yours. Number one is you have to set your mind on Him. Now, it's very easy for us to get distracted, isn't it? It's very easy in our world in which we live to get focused on even the wrong things. And we can value things that really have nothing to do with the kingdom. And so the key to perfect peace is beginning to judge what your mind is set on. We even call it a mindset. Whenever you talk about somebody that's got a mindset, it means it's the way they think, it's the way they live. It orders and dictates every aspect of their life. If you have a negative mindset, you can walk into an ice cream parlor and find something wrong with it. If you have a negative mindset, someone can give you $1,000 and you'll say, why didn't they give me $10,000? Mindsets change and rule every aspect of your life. And so God is saying, in order for you to walk in perfect peace, you have to have a peaceful mindset. So that whenever you show up in whatever situation, you can walk into a place of chaos and you can say, peace, be still. Or you can just sleep on the boat all the way through the storm. You see, I was kind of thinking about our illustration and how the disciples had to wake Jesus up to calm the storm. What we didn't really think about was Jesus was okay just sleeping in it. He really didn't have to calm the storm to get where he was going. It was really just for the disciples not to be afraid to get there. And so here's the promise, is whether or not God calms the storm or not, you're still going to make it to the other side. And whether or not it works out the way you want it to work out, there is still a Savior, and even if He's asleep in the boat, He's got you. Look at your neighbor and say, He's got you. And so the key to finding perfect peace is learning to set your mind. Romans chapter 8, verse 6 says, to set your mind on the flesh is death, but to set your mind on the Spirit is life and peace. Colossians chapter 3, one of my favorite verses, says, if then you have been raised with Christ, set your mind on things above. Now, what we do oftentimes with this is we say what is above, and we begin to look up. And so if we really were to take this literally, we would be walking around like this. And the problem is that's kind of dangerous. Right? It's almost like walking around texting. Your focus is not on where you're going, but in this concept of above, here's what I want to suggest to you. If then you have been, that is past tense. You have already been raised with Christ. So wherever you were before you met Christ, wherever you were in that state before you accepted Jesus as your Lord, whatever it is, there's so many different people in here. Those of you that are watching online, all of us have different backgrounds. We have different reasons and different excuses that would disqualify us perhaps from walking in peace. Some of you and I we don't even deserve to be at peace. I got about 4 people that's with me today. Some of y'all just need to get saved. You all those hypocrites. Sorry, I just got a little bit in the flesh right there, but I'm back in. But what happens is He literally raises you up. He doesn't just move you. So if we saw the domain of darkness that we were captured in, whenever Jesus saves us, He brings us out of that. It's not just a parallel move. It is literally a raise. So each and every one of you got a raise. You were raised with Christ. And how many of you know that your position determines how you see things? Set your mind on things that are above. Now, here's what I want you to understand, that it's not just a position in the sense of placement, but I'm going to suggest to you that it's also what is above in authority. Set your mind on things that are above whatever you're going through. If it's sickness, what's above sickness? health, healing, and ultimately, Jesus, who is the healer. So if you're focused on your lack, not being able to pay your bills, not being able to meet that house payment next month, what should you be focused on? Your provider. If you're in a situation where you don't know how you're going to get out of that bondage that you're in, what should you focus on? The deliverer, right? So the more we set our mind on things above, it changes our ability to see the solution. But whenever you're focused here, all you see is the problem. And the problem with the problem is it doesn't give you an answer. That'll preach right there. You might want to just tweet that one. But here's what it is. We stay focused on the problem and then we just get in a cycle, a trap, where we can't get out. But whenever we set our mind on things above, it positions us to live with peace. And peace has to do with violence, because Jesus has already destroyed your enemy and there is no weapon formed against you that can prosper in your life. And He has already done what He needs to do to bring you out of whatever you're in. I'm preaching better than you're shouting today. So we set our mind on things. We set our mind. It's kind of like whenever I first met Lachey. I set my mind. Now, you guys know the story, right? It was a blind date. I didn't have Facebook. I wasn't able to stalk her on Instagram. I couldn't DM her friends and find out if she was okay. I just showed up at her front door and never seen her before. Now, here's how the story goes, and it's a true story. When my wife saw me, her mind was on things above. And the Lord said to her, "He shall be your husband," on the blind date. My mind was things on below. And I said, "She's got nice legs." True story. Thankfully, she won out. And now we've been married 27 years. Set your mind on things above, not on the things of the earth. The concept here is a little bit difficult for us to understand in English, because it's not just thinking about an idea or a concept. It's literally aligning your mind with your heart, with your spirit. It's coming into alignment as a complete person as you pursue something. Set your mind means there is no opportunity for anything else to steal your thoughts. You are focused. And this is the key to perfect peace. This is why Peter, whenever he was walking on the water, he began to sink when? He took his eyes off of Jesus. He was the only one that got out of the boat, though. Set your mind on things above, and it will bring you perfect peace. So let's look at 4 things that you need in order to go in this path to perfect peace. First is praise and thanksgiving. Let's go to Philippians chapter 4. You still with me? Philippians chapter 4, verse 4. Now let me remind you that the Apostle Paul was writing this from prison. So he wasn't at the Hilton. He wasn't at this real nice cafe where our writers like to work today. The Apostle Paul was in prison. He had no reason to be happy. He had an excuse to focus on the negative. And the Apostle Paul from prison says, "Rejoice in the Lord always." Somebody look at your neighbor and say, "Always" means always. Rejoice whenever you get your healing and when you don't. Rejoice when you find your provision and when you don't. Rejoice when you're with people you like and when you're with people you don't like. Rejoice in the Lord always. And then it says, do not be anxious about anything, but everything in prayer and supplication. With thanksgiving, let your request be made known to God. The second one is we move from praise into prayer. Now, Philippians chapter 4 also addresses prayer and supplication. What I'm going to suggest to you as the aspect of supplication here, I believe that all of us understand perhaps what prayer is. It's our relationship with expressing to God and talking to God and being in communication with God. But supplication is a very specific form of prayer. And it literally means praying for a specific felt need that is urgent and personal. There is power whenever you can pray specifically according to the will of God. We need to move beyond just saying, God bless me. We need to move beyond just saying, God, I want you to work in my life today. We need to move beyond just saying, God bless the people. And we need to understand that He is wanting to share with us specifically what He wants to do in our life so that we can agree with Him that that will be done. Why? Because Jesus said we ought to pray like this: let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. In other words, God wants to show you specifically what He wants to give you in your life, but He's waiting for you to agree with it. So supplication is praying specifically about a felt and urgent need. I saw this work in a phenomenal way whenever I used to work for an RV dealership, and my boss named Butch Burson had an aortic dissection. Some people would call that a widowmaker. And most people do not recover from that. And he spent 42 days unconscious in a hospital. He doesn't remember that part of his life. And it was so terrifying for the family as he went into this state of not being able to communicate and not being able to respond. He had no response whatsoever. So much so that 3 doctors came into their hospital room and said, he has no brain activity. You need to take him off of support. He had no response whatsoever, no activity. The family literally fired the doctor and said, he will not die, he will live. And they began, and I was the one that did their website. And so here's what the family did. They began to say to me, he needs to get circulation in his fingers. And so we had a prayer list or a prayer movement that was going around the world. And so I would send out on the blog, I would say, pray that Butch gets circulation in his fingers. And this is through so much of this story, but just follow with me. We would just begin to pray about circulation in his fingers. And here's what happened. His fingers started moving. He needs to get this, Tony. Put this on the prayer list. All right, we need to pray that he gets some oxygen back into his lungs, and his oxygen level started going up. We literally, if you will, put him back together by specific prayer. He now is living and running his business, and they said he would never live again, that he had no activity, that there was nothing in him. There was nothing in him that had any response. But the supplication of God's people calls to awaken something that the world could not give. And I want you to understand that God is more powerful than anything that they say. God is more powerful than anything that it looks like in your life. Pray specifically the word of God over your situation. I'll tell you another situation whenever God worked this in my life. I was trying to start a youth group in Knoxville. I was going down and I was hitting the streets and I was trying to invite everybody. I couldn't get anybody to come. I wasn't seeing anybody get saved. And I was praying for revival and I was praying for God to work in the youth. And God spoke to me during prayer one time and He said, put all your efforts into one soul. And so I changed the way I prayed and I said, God, give me one soul. Let one soul come to you. Let one soul get saved. And I began to pray about that one soul. And it wasn't long before Chris Durf accepted Jesus, and he was an evangelist, and before we knew it, he had won about 48 people to Jesus. Because we focus specifically on one thing. And so perhaps what God's wanting you to do is to step away from your general approach and listen to what He is about to show you. And allow Him to begin to unlock step by step His will in your life. And so we have praising and we have praying, and the third one is preferring. Preferring others in our life. It may be that we don't have peace because we are out of alignment with people. And this is hard sometimes because we want to just contain it to our Sunday morning experience. Jesus, I praised you on Sunday. Did you see when Pastor Carlos come up and sung? I just got to move in my... You, Lord, help me. But then we go and we treat people wrong. And we even have mindsets about people that are wrong. And in order for us to walk in perfect peace, we have to surrender even our relationships to Him. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8, finally, all of you have unity of mind, sympathy, brotherly love, a tender heart, and a humble mind. It kind of goes back to our peace out method, doesn't it? That we are to have understanding with those people in our life. Maybe we are blocking our miracle because we're blocking other people. Oh, you didn't get that. Maybe we're blocking what God's wanting to do in our life because we're literally blocking others from growing in the kingdom. Philippians chapter 2, you can read that one later, verses 1 through 4. Number 4, and the fourth step in the path to perfect peace is to patiently persevere. Patiently. This is not a fun one, right? Patiently persevere. One of my favorite verses is Romans 8:18, and it says, the sufferings of this present time do not compare to the glory that shall be in us. Galatians chapter 6, verse 9 says, be not weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap if you faint not. Now hear me, there are seasons, and some of you are in a season when you are not having your harvest yet. You're in a season of planting. You're in a season of working. You're in a season of depositing. We've been trying to teach our son Tegan about investing. And sometimes you don't always gain when you're investing, especially with the way the market is right now. But we've said just wait. Because as you wait and you move into that other season, then you are positioned for the harvest. The only thing that will rob your harvest is if you quit. Oh, you didn't catch that. The only thing that can rob your harvest is if you give up. Satan doesn't have authority to rob your harvest. There is nothing that has the authority to come and to steal from you what God has planned for you. You just have to stay faithful and show up so that He can fill you up with what He wants in your life. Look at your neighbor and say, don't give up. So here we have this concept of perfect peace. In Romans chapter 8, I quoted it for you, and it says that the sufferings of this present time can't be compared to the glory. Listen to the next verse. For the creation walks with eager longing for the revealing of the sons of God. Matthew chapter 5, verse 9 says that peacemakers shall be called sons of God. And so here's the key. As we set our mind on God, as we set our mind on His Word, as we show up to bring peace in chaotic situations, as we learn to prefer others above ourselves, then we begin to establish a domain that allows for God to show up as our daddy. Oh, you didn't get it. How many of y'all want God to show up as your daddy? Now, some of us may not understand that. Because we've had bad daddies. Can I just be real? But we have a daddy that is reckless in his love for you. We have a daddy that looks at you, and no matter what you've done, no matter what you've went through, no matter what's disqualified you, he hasn't changed his mind about you. You are still his child, and he will show up as your daddy to set some things straight against your enemies. Some of you need to understand that your daddy has not given up on you today. Your daddy has not given up on you today, and he is ready to get your back. So blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Now here's the final thing. God wants us to walk in perfect peace, even right now. If we were to sit down together, some of y'all would give me all the reasons why you can't be at peace. You would tell me about your boss. You'd tell me about your spouse. You'd tell me about your teenager. You'd tell me about your physical situation. You'd tell me about your financial situation. You would perhaps have conversations like these people on the video and say, it's really hard to have peace right now. Whenever you're in the midst of a pandemic and you don't know whether you can go into a restaurant or you can't go into a restaurant. You don't know if you're going to have someone that's going to greet you or push you away. You just don't know. But here's the promise, is that for each and every one of his children, there is a place of perfect peace even right now. The key is for us to set our mind on him and his ways. I know that sounds simple, but there's really 4 steps. Praise, prayer, preferring others, and persevering until God shows up. It's really that simple. I know that was a lot to preach, right? But if you'll take that, the P's of peace. Some of y'all need to eat your peas this week. Praise, even when you don't feel like it. Prayer, when you don't know how you're going to get out of it. Preferring others when you even don't like them. And patiently waiting when you're tired. Just don't give up. Stand up with me today, please. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 16 says, the blessing now of perfect peace. Now may the Lord of peace himself give you peace at all times and in every way. Listen to that. Give you peace at all times in every way. Now, why is this important? Because you need to walk out of here expecting peace. You need to walk out of here believing that God's got peace for you. That there is a way to walk in perfect peace. And here's what I want to do for you today. I want to declare a blessing over you that we find in the Old Testament. And it's in Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 through 26. And if you would just raise your hands like this, I'm going to pronounce the blessing of the Lord over your life. The blessing of his peace, the blessing of his provision, the blessing of his power. Maybe you just close your eyes, forget about who's around you, and I want you just to receive this blessing today. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. And the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. God has got this. God has got you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. He is an ever-present help in a time of trouble, and his face is shining down on you. Will you give the Lord a hand clap of praise today? Be seated. As our team is coming on up, I would like for you to honor someone very special to our church today. I know he won't want me to, but Pastor Kyle and Jamie Himmelwright is the reason that we're here today. So I would like for y'all to honor Pastor Kyle and Jamie. Thank y'all for being here with us today. Come on up, Amber. Come on up.
things first, like Pastor Tony said, if you have not downloaded the church app, what you doing? What you listen? If you haven't downloaded it, maybe you're an Apple user, maybe because Android, we have the app. So maybe you're an Apple user, maybe that's the reason why you haven't done it, because y'all not there yet, in the head yet. Maybe that's the reason why. iconchurch.com, it has everything you need on there. Okay, the church, everything.
So the first.
I'm gonna check it out.
Everything. Okay. iconchurch.com. You want to download it, okay? Because it has everything you need, okay? What else we have? We have some stuff going on. Outside the church app, if you, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to say.
Go ahead, huh? Go ahead.
If you didn't get the
He's
nuggets
still in the
today,
spirit, y'all. He's still in the spirit.
Because he gave us the peas today. If you didn't get the nuggets today, it's okay, because I got some nuggets for y'all. I got some nuggets for y'all. Amber, you got some nuggets too?
I got some
All right,
nuggets.
so I'm going to let you go first, and then I'm going to pull mine out, because I have a bunch of them. So I'm going to let you go first.
Well, the first thing I got was set your mind on things above so that there is no opportunity for anything else to steal your thoughts.
That's what you got?
That's
Listen, I'm thinking what I got. We all got a raise. So listen, tomorrow, go to your job. Listen, Pastor Tony said you got a raise. Listen, Pat, it's on him. I put in all caps. We all got a raise. I put in all caps. That's why that's all my nuggets. We all got a raise. That's all I got.
Don't forget me, God. Don't forget me. Don't forget me, God. Not in this season.
Remember to eat your peas, okay? Remember to eat your peas. Now, I like my peas with black pepper, so PT, you didn't say that. Eat your peas, okay? Praise, prayer, preferring others, and patiently waiting, okay? Eat your peas, right? Praise, prayer, preferring others, and patiently waiting. We have to start praying specifically for our situations.
Yes.
Maybe we're blocking our miracle because we're blocking others. That was good. God has not given up on us. God has not given up on us. That's my nuggets. Like I said, if you ain't get nothing, you got a raise. That's all I got. That's all I got.
That's my piece. Yes,
Listen. It's almost that time. Like literally, it's almost that time. Friday, if you a man, if you're not signed up for the man conference, you want to sign up for this, right? It's gonna be amazing. October the 8th, which is Friday through the 10th. We got some people flying in to give a dynamic word. You want to be a part of it, right? Last year we had no excuses. This year it's time to man up. So if you're a man, you want to sign up. There's no reason why you cannot. We have so many scholarships to give out. So make sure you sign up. iconchurch.cc/iconman. iconchurch.cc/iconman. Make sure you be here. Make sure you bring somebody too, all right? Because we got to be a part of this. It's going to be amazing.
And it's about that time. Fall is here. You know what that means, right? That means
Pumpkin
trunk
spice.
or treat. Y'all can do better than that, man. Y'all not ready?
They're not excited.
I'm there for the candy. And the word, Pastor Tony, and the word. But I'm there for the candy. It's trunk or treat, but not just any type of trunk or treat. This year, we will be doing trunk or treat at the skating ring on October 28th.
Yes.
Come on, make some noise for trunk or treat.
Yes. You want to be a part of that? Listen.
You want to be there.
We got skating. We got mini golf. We got candy. Listen, we have so much stuff. And did you tell them that it's free? Did you tell them it's free?
I'm there for the
it's
candy.
Free. Listen,
I'm
so you want to be a part of
candy.
that, all right? Because it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be at 3 Founders Skating Rink. All right, you want to be a part of that? It's gonna be from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. We have candy donations in the back. So if you can, like Pastor Tony said, bring some candy out so we can fill these trunks up. Bring some candy out so we can fill these trunks up. Again, free skating, free mini golf. Trunk or treat is going to be amazing. You want to be a part of that. Make sure you bring your kids. Make sure you bring your family. Make sure you bring your neighborhood to that because it's going to be absolutely awesome. So be a part of that for sure. Any more details? Where's Alex at?
Alex.
He is the man. Listen,
Alex,
he is the man. Listen, if you need a raise, go to Alex. He's the person to go to for trunk or treat. If you have any more questions for that, Alex Scott, he's the point of contact for that. So make sure you be a part of that for sure.
Calling all ladies. There will be Iconics Women Kickstart meeting and dinner on October 15, 2021.
Is that dinner?
And dinner.
Lauren, bring me a plate. Go ahead.
At 6:30 p.m. Sign up. All right, sign up, ladies. Where my ladies at? Y'all know the man.
Listen, I mean, who needs dinner when you got axe throwing? So that, I
It's
mean,
us,
like,
it's
we
us.
got
It's
breakfast
us.
and we got axe throwing. So you wanna
Sign
be a part
up,
of it.
sign up, ladies, sign up.
Listen. Like, you know, we got stuff for ladies, but we got stuff for everybody, okay? Every Wednesday is our iConnect groups. You want to be a part of that?
iConnect.
Every single Wednesday, starting at 7 p.m. The point of contact is Bishop Elderwood. He's right there. Listen, iConnect groups is awesome. You want to be a part of it, all right? Every Wednesday, yes, I said it. Every Wednesday, iConnect groups, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Point of contact is Elder Stephen Wood. If you have any more, if you need any information for that. Veronica. Look, Veronica. Listen, Elder Veronica Raleigh, she's a point of contact for that. If you have any questions for that, Elder Veronica Raleigh and Stephen, both of them, if you have any questions, both of them, they will be able to assist you for sure about that.
Do you have a little one?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
I do too. I got kids. Well, parents, just in case you ever need to have to be notified from the nursery, you will see the parent notification on the TV screen. At the bottom of the TV screen. All other instructions will be given to the parent at the check-in station. So keep a look, for your little ones, okay?
Yeah. Listen, last night I got a chance to take my wife to the drive-in movie theater. Listen, it was, first of all, awesome. Now, it was packed. But I'm going to tell you what should be packed. Our drive-through prayer.
Amen.
Listen, every Saturday, every single Saturday, we have drive-through prayer. We are praying for the community. We are being specific for our prayers. So if you want to be a part of that, listen, you could find a point of contact, or you could just pull up. So just pull up every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We are praying for the community. You want to be a part of that? Every single Saturday, we are praying for the community. Icon Church is doing some amazing stuff. So if you want to be a part of that, every Saturday, drive-through prayer. You want to be a part of that for sure. Listen, we about to get out of here. Everybody, you can stand on your feet. It's about time to go. Like, PT, he about to cut my mic off. Listen, real quick, make sure you take a photo because you're here. We want to see your faces. We want to see your faces online, too. So take a photo. It's our social media engagement moment. Take a photo. Hashtag be iconic. Hashtag PT say we're getting a raise. Hashtag perfect peace. Make sure you take a photo. This is our social media moment. Take a picture. You want to take one with me? You want to take a picture with me? Sure. You got your phone?
All right.
Listen. Make sure you post that on social media so everybody knows you was in the house. Hashtag be iconic, okay? Listen, are y'all ready? Y'all ready? Icon Church, y'all ready? Amber, you ready?
Y'all ready?
You ready?
All right. Y'all sure y'all ready? All right. Let's do the iconic declaration. It is in my DNA to be iconic. I will imitate Christ.